Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of Diablo 4. My name is Wilfred. So life has been pretty hectic and henceforth I have not been producing many videos lately. And also I've been keeping myself busy with the Diablo 3 Season 29 as well as the latest World of Truck event for the Euro Truck Simulator 2. They have the West Balkan DLC just came out and I've been trucking around the area. Very beautiful area, by the way. So I've completed all those, almost done with Diablo 3 Season 29, and I'm coming back to Diablo 4 because many of my friends says that, well, you have to check it out. There's a lot of improvement. I'm enjoying myself and so on. Now, when I first read the patch note, I must say that I cautious myself being too enthusiastic on the new patch of Diablo 4. Now, no doubt they have made a lot of improvement. The pace is phenomenal. But, so in this video, I'd like to share my thought with you. At the back of it is the good old Nightmare Dungeon that I'm playing with my Necromancer level 60. More or less the build that I'm aiming for end game. So, hope you enjoy this video. Now, back to Season 2, when I first read the patch, I cautioned myself saying that, well, Diablo or Blizzard is pretty good at making games that are pretty fun when you get into it. Just like a beta, a lot of us, I won't say scammed into it, but a lot of us had the expectation that the game is as good as what you've seen in the beta, but of course it wasn't meant to be that way. So the game fall off the cliff when you kind of like go beyond the beta kind of gameplay, and you feel more or less is lacking in the mid to end game. Now, Season 2 to me is the same thing. I'll go into some of these pros and cons in just a minute, but I feel that the fun stops there about 50 plus, level 50 plus, and after level 50 plus where I am right now, it is just a good old chore that I experienced in the last season, maybe in a little bit better way, but it's the same old thing. I think it's just lacking of the game loop. Now, so last season, Season 1, I've spent around 154 hours playing. I didn't know that I spent that much time playing. And there is player stat. After all, I received an email from Blizzard saying, oh, congratulations, you spent 154 hours playing Season 1. So that was the time spent, and after I hit 100, after I've completed the season journey, and after I've got all the battle pass unlocked, I basically stopped playing. This is a game that you should keep playing, I would say, once you get to the end game, but I just couldn't bring myself to spend even an extra minute playing this. So I stopped it, and Season 2 come out, I was saying to myself, okay, I love Necromancer, I haven't really level 1 before, so I give this game another shot. I found that the normal renown farming is with the progress being carried to the character is a good thing. So I don't need to just focus on playing the side quests and or stronghold and or dungeon just to unlock Paragon or so on and so forth. So I think it's a very good change. I like it. The legendary drop more often, I think for early leveling it was good, but I'll go into detail a little bit on why I don't think it makes much difference at the end game or mid game and beyond. The Hell Tide 2.0 aka Blood Harvest is really fun. I like it a lot that you could carry the progress from Blood Harvest to Blood Harvest, and the Blood Harvest doesn't have a timer. You just finish one zone, go to another zone, and it coincides with the Tree of Whisper task or quest as well. So I think that's pretty fun in a sense, make it a little bit much better than Helltide itself. The Vampiric Power give more, I guess, the layer of the power. To me, it's a Glyph 2.0 because Glyph is a bit of you have to build your way towards the Paragon board, get the right Glyph, and then just wait for things to unlock. And if you want to change the Glyph, it's a lot of thinking involved because you need to maybe increase the radius of the Glyph and or pick up the right stats around the Glyph to unlock the full potential of the Glyph itself. But with the Vampiric Power, it's just click of button, that's it, this is the one that you want to use. Just make sure the gear can support it, and that's fine. And leveling is faster, I guess. It's also good at the low to mid level. All right, now what happened after level 50 is what this video really about. When early level world tier 1 and 2, you have limited resources, so you can't really craft, though. You use whatever you can, be as rare and or legendary, whatever fixes that you can or aspect you can get from the dungeon. Try to have that into your gear. And for leveling build, it doesn't really matter whether you need to max and mins. You don't need that, so long as you have some aspect power that is skill defining, and you can get away with almost anything for world tier 1 and 2. So that is where the fun kind of like starts. Now once you get to world tier 3, then things get a little bit more serious. You have to because crafting is expensive, so you have to research ahead on what kind of build that you want to position yourself to end game. It's pretty straightforward. If you're lucky with the unique item, and if that unique item is not a weapon of store, you could use the unique item for a long time, and with that you can then transition to your end build with the unique item. But some end build won't work if you don't have that unique item, so you go for the non-unique item, kind of like an end game build. Also can. There are other builds that you don't need to have a legendary. So then it's a matter of collecting the gear with the right aspect on the right slot, and whenever you upgrade, you just get yourself the same aspect on the same slot, ideally if you can, so you don't need to think too hard about what gets swapped into what slot and so on. And because each slot may have a different kind of like a multiplier to the affix, so you have to figure out with all the aspect which one is most important for which slot and so on. So the replacement is always to me 1-to-1. After level 50 is the same play style. Your build is kind of fixed after 50. You don't do anything different, so you just keep clicking the same rotation as you progress into the dungeon, what you see here. And the higher legendary drop rate really means that the aspect farming is a little bit easier, because if you're looking for a certain aspect, it will drop better. But it doesn't mean that you can ignore the rare item, because the rare items still are the one that provide you the opportunity for the right affixes that work best for your build. So you need to scan through every single items that you collect from the dungeon, the rare as well as legendary, to match all the 4 affixes and see whether it is to your priority. And each slot is different, so you have to kind of memorize. For my chest item, I'm looking for maybe life as well as armor. Maybe for my boots, I'm looking for movement speed and resistance. Maybe for my weapon, I go for overpower and so on. So you have kind of in your mind, if your memory is good, try to memorize like 2 affix per slot, mostly all different. If your memory is even better because you're younger, then maybe you memorize 4 to 6 affixes that you would like to prioritize and get into. So it's a lot of muscle, have like memory muscle going on. Not actually fun. It's not intuitive. You just have to memorize what's best for your build. And when it comes to the nightmare dungeon, is the same nightmare dungeon like you've seen here. There's a lot of backtracking as well, and basically the objective is kind of not that interesting. Some of them is okay, but most of them are kind of like a bit of like kind of nonsense there. Never liked the nightmare dungeon mechanic, but you have to do for the glaive. And you have to work out the dungeon mob level based on the Sigil tier and the world tier as well. There's a formula X plus Y plus Z to give you the number, and each different world tier will give a different number. So no, I'm not really a big fan of it either. And you still have to do hell tie for the mat, because some of these high end crafting requires some material that you can only collect in the hell tie, and also it is a step down from the blood harvest. If you enjoy blood harvest, you will not enjoy hell tie, because it's just like it make it just not that as fun, although it could be rewarding. You go back to town. It's the same layout. All the NPC are kind of spread across the map, except the Tree of Whisper, but they don't have everything there. So you still need to run around to do your chores. And I do find that inventory management is still a chore, and it does disrupt the whole game flow, right? So what do you do when you come back to town after your Blood Harvest or Helltide or even a Nightmare Dungeon? So for me, there's always the same like 10, 12 steps, 10 or 15 steps or whatever it is. So first of all, I need to go through my inventory, sort that, and mark the item to sell. And then I head to vendor to sell the items. And then I go to blacksmith to salvage any of those legendary items for crafting material. Then if I see some relevant legendary items with the same affix or the spec that I'm having, that I have to head back to the stash and store them. And if I'm coming back from a Nightmare Dungeon, I have to go ahead to the enchanter, disenchant sigil if they're extra because it eats up all the space, and then craft the sigil if need to my right level. And if there's an update, I have to go to the enchanter and power it with the same aspect that replace the old gear. Maybe I need to enchant one affix at a time. If I have enough money and the material, then I need to head back to a blacksmith for weapon or armor upgrade. And if it's not a weapon or armor, then I have to head to a jeweler for the ring and amulet upgrade. And then if the item is jammed or has it's jammed, I need to remove the jam from the jeweler. And then I need to, if the item can be socket and it doesn't come with one, I need to add a socket, provided that I have the material. And put in the jam, and then after that equip the gear and see if all my Vampiric Power is still active. If they are still active, all is well. If it's not, then I need to add the packs into the available slot to make it active for all my Vampiric Power. If there's no more pack slot, I need to remove all the packs and then react into different kind of pack to make sure that all my Vampiric Power is still active. And then the gear that I've replaced, I need to head to stash if I want to save the aspect, if that aspect is still useful for my future. If not, then I have to go back to the blacksmith to salvage them. Well, it's a pretty long process, but this is what I do every 10 minutes or less than that when I come back from a Nightmare Dungeon. And that's the reason why I feel that this game is still kind of like there are complexity, but these are not. There's no depth to it. So compare this game with say Chronicon, the dams there is a lot more varied. You could use the dam to plug any gap you have in your gearing, but this game is there are all the elements there, but these elements are not. There's no depth to it. It's just a lot of chore, a lot of things and steps you need to do every single time you play the dungeon, every single time you come back from a Helltide, every single time when you do anything. So and at the end of the day, look at the battle pass. It's not really that inspiring as well, although it's not that expensive if you carry some in-game currency from the last season. But anyway, those are my thoughts. What about yours? What do you think? Do you enjoy the season 2, or do you think like myself, after level 50, Honeymoon is over? Let me know in the comment box below. I'll see you again soon. Bye.